We have an addition problem, and when we have addition problems, we need the denominators to be exactly the same. So as I look at my two different denominators, I see they're not the same. One's an x minus 5, one's an x plus 5. And even though they look kind of the same, like they're completely different things. And so what we have to do is figure out what the least common denominator will be. And the basic rule is if it's in your denominator anywhere, it's got to be in your LCD. So we're going to look at each denominator, and whatever it has in it has to be in the LCD. So looking at this first fraction, that has x plus 5 in the denominator, x plus 5 must be part of my common denominator. Looking at the second fraction, it has an x minus 5. I look at my common denominator, there's no x minus 5 in there, so that will also need to have, we'll have to include an additional x minus 5. So our LCD will be x plus 5 in parentheses times x minus 5. The next thing we want to do is think about the problem, and we can't really cancel things off because there's no equal sign. What we can do is make all the denominators look like this red one by giving each fraction whatever piece it's missing. So what I mean is I want my denominators to look like this. This guy's missing an x minus 5. So I will give it an x minus 5. But if I do that, I'll give one to the top as well. Both top and bottom will get whatever's needed to make this denominator look like the common denominator. Looking at the next fraction, the 3 over the x minus 5, when I compare this denominator to the common denominator, I can see it's missing the x plus 5. So the bottom will get an x plus 5, and the numerator will get an x plus 5. Now both denominators are x plus 5 times x minus 5. So that will be my common denominator that just gets put in the denominator. And this numerator would be 4 times x minus 5 plus 3 times x plus 5. And at this point, I'm not really too worried about the denominator anymore. I know it's correct. I just want to simplify that numerator. So I'm really focusing all my energy just on this part, and I'm thinking about all those wonderful things I learned in Algebra 1, about distributive property, about combining like terms. This would turn into a 4x minus 20. This would turn into a 3x plus 15. And if I combine like terms, 4 and 3 combine to make 7x. Negative 20 and positive 15 combine to make negative 5. That'll be my new numerator. And my denominator will be the same, x plus 5, x minus 5. This will be my final answer. So we're looking at the denominators, getting a common denominator, giving tops and bottoms missing pieces, and then using Algebra 1 skills to finish this thing off. Good luck.